You see, Trump's been threatening Mamdani for a long time now because he dares to talk about what Americans hate to hear: socialism and Palestine. In addition, Mamdani is the kind of politician that actually speaks on behalf of the people and not donors. And Trump and other politicians can't stand that. So what do? They call Mamdani a radical, an extremist, and they even hint at deporting him, as if being pro-Palestine and being a socialist is enough to get an elected official, a sitting assemblyman, deported. But of course, this is the kind of stance that we get from our president: very much fascist behavior to threaten another politician to deport them over their political beliefs. But of course, we've seen that Trump is willing to punish his enemies, but reward those who are willing to give him loyalty. But of course, we all know what this really is. We all know what he's really about. So when you look at this case about Letitia James, just know that it's not about mortgage fraud. It's about trying to get an eye for an eye. See, Letitia James exposed him as a fraud, almost got him in big enough trouble that it hurt his own pocket. But luckily for Trump, he had an appeal, and he didn't have to pay those almost $500 million in fines. So even though he was lucky, he still holds that grudge against Letitia James. And now that he's in power, he's going to weaponize the DOJ to come after her in the same way she came after him. Only difference is that this case probably won't stick. But Trump knows what he's doing. Even if he doesn't win this case, what he's doing is he's just bombarding the people, right? He's showing them that he will go after you, that he will use whatever tools are in his disposal to go after his enemies, and he will use whatever tools in his disposal to reward his allies for loyalty. Right now, what Trump is doing is trying to go after his enemies, to try to silence resistance against his actions and his policies, and he's trying to see what sticks. Of course, not all of these cases and all of these charges are going to win, but he does enough to just scare people, knowing that not a lot of people can fight back in the same way that perhaps Attorney General Letitia James can. So how many cases against Trump can really the average day citizen or other people in office or administrations win? What we do know is that Trump is willing to throw cases at just about anyone who double crosses him or who is willing to hold him accountable for his corruption and his fraud. And at this point, it isn't about politics. It's personal for him. If you've upset the president, if you've gone after him, if you've said something that he doesn't like or disagree with, if you're pro-Palestine, well, that means that you're on his hit list. But we've seen this before. We've seen this with dictators all over the world. It's no different. And the way I see it is America can fight back and it can remain strong.